What does it feel like to call off an engagement just 1 month before the wedding? Xi Liu finally understands that feeling firsthand. She secretly boards a flight back to Korea, her heart pounding the entire way, terrified that her mother will beat her senseless the moment she gets home. Even when the flight attendant gently wakes her, she screams in fright. And just like that, Xi Liu returns to Korea in a constant state of anxiety, immediately asking her best friend, Yuanyin, to pick her up at the airport. Yuanyin suggests they go home together and confess everything honestly. But Yuanyin has no idea that Xi Liu returned with this kind of problem in mind. Instead, she cheerfully drags Xi Liu out for spicy rice cakes to welcome her home. Just then, Xi Liu's younger brother also shows up to buy rice cakes. Xi Liu quickly grabs Yuanyin and pulls her down to hide. Only then does Yuanyin sense that Xi Liu must have caused serious trouble while she was in the US. Xi Liu hurriedly explains that she came back only to surprise her family. After all, coming home properly like a well-behaved role model would be far too boring. Before Yuanyin can think it through, Xi Liu drags her straight toward home. On the way, Xi Liu keeps pleading with her best friend. No matter what happens today, she must stay with her until the end. That's when Yuanyin suddenly realizes her best friend has really messed up this time. Perfect timing, Yuanyin gets a call from the fire station captain. She immediately uses it as an excuse to slip away. Abandoned without mercy, Xi Liu has no choice but to head home alone. At the entrance of the alley, she's stunned to discover that the old public bathhouse from her childhood has been replaced by a luxurious modern building. This triggers memories of when she was young, being dragged by her mother into the women's bath, an experience so embarrassing it still makes her laugh. Xi Liu circles the building on her bike, then suddenly turns her head and comes face to face with Cheng Xiao. Only then does she learn that this building belongs to the architectural firm Cheng Xiao just founded. Cheng Xiao is an outstanding architect who wins awards constantly. On top of that, his handsome looks leave his female colleagues completely smitten. Recently, Cheng Xiao has been preparing to design a memorial park. To better understand what grieving families truly need, he deliberately sought advice from Dr. Li, a physician with over 20 years of experience. Dr. Li had just recently lost his mother. Having long grown accustomed to life and death, he wasn't overwhelmed with grief. Instead, he felt grateful that he was able to personally accompany his mother on her final journey. He hoped that families who come to the memorial park could also feel a sense of peace. After all, remembrance doesn't have to be solemn. This is the place where their loved ones rest. Inspired, Cheng Xiao returns to the office to record his ideas, only to spot a suspicious, sneaky Xi Liu nearby. The moment they meet, the two immediately start bickering. Before Xi Liu can say much, her mother appears with several of her mother's friends. Quick-witted, Xi Liu dives straight into a nearby cardboard box, begging Cheng Xiao to help her and swear he's never seen her. In her panic, however, she leaves her suitcase right in the middle of the road. When her mother and the others approach and curiously check the name on the luggage tag, Cheng Xiao quickly claims that the suitcase is his. Xi Liu's mother kindly pushes the suitcase toward him, but notices how nervously Cheng Xiao keeps guarding it and asks suspiciously. Cheng Xiao manages to send them away. Holding the suitcase, he guesses that Xi Liu must have caused serious trouble in America, otherwise she wouldn't be this afraid to face her family. Xi Liu doesn't want Cheng Xiao to know that she called off her engagement. She rips open the suitcase and barges into Cheng Xiao's company, claiming she just needs to use the restroom. Afterwards, she wanders around curiously inspecting her childhood friend's new office and touching everything in sight. Still childish as ever, Xi Liu goes to tour Cheng Xiao's personal office. When she learns that he designed a ceiling structure identical to ancient tombs, she laughs uncontrollably and mocks him for being a weirdo. But her laughter is short-lived. She trips over some cables. Thankfully, Cheng Xiao reacts instantly, holding up a collapsing bookshelf and saving her life. Xi Liu anxiously checks his back, which has been injured by falling decorations. When she notices a scar, she recalls a childhood memory. She was the one who accidentally caused that injury. Cheng Xiao, however, is long used to it. His body is covered in scars, all of them left behind by Shi Liu's past mischief. This time, he's certain she's in even bigger trouble. He advises her to confess to her mother as soon as possible. Otherwise, judging by Auntie's personality, the longer she delays, the worse the beating will be. Though Cheng Xiao mocks her verbally, he's genuinely worried about her safety and follows her all the way home. Seeing a delivery rider's helmet nearby, Shi Liu suddenly gets an idea. She opens her suitcase, layers on thick clothing, and prepares to endure her mother's rice-tumbling fists. At the doorstep, Shi Liu grabs Cheng Xiao, clearly wanting him to face her mother with her. Cheng Xiao is terrified and urgently asks what kind of disaster she caused. With no choice left, Shi Liu confesses. She called off her engagement. Before the words even leave her mouth, her mother's voice sounds from behind. She stares at her daughter in disbelief. Shi Liu explains again. Her mother suppresses her anger and asks whether it was the man who broke off the engagement. When she hears that it was entirely Shi Liu's own decision, she mistakenly assumes her daughter cheated and becomes even angrier. Seeing Shi Liu remain silent, the mother finally explodes, grabbing a bunch of green onions and hurling them at her. Cheng Xiao immediately rushes forward to shield Shi Liu. The green onions rain down on him like a storm. Cheng Xiao's mother steps in to restrain her friend, heartbroken at her son's situation. Shi Liu's father also steps forward, trying to calm his wife and hear her daughter out. Suddenly, the father faints on the spot. The mother rushes over, ready to beat her crazy daughter to death. Terrified, Shi Liu grabs Cheng Xiao and runs. It takes a long while before they finally shake off her mother's pursuit. In a secluded spot, Shi Liu unceremoniously pushes Cheng Xiao in front of her and peels off her thick layers of clothing. The two start bickering again. Cheng Xiao mocks her for lying and claiming she cheated. When she realizes he doesn't believe it, Shi Liu arrogantly declares that she's far too charming to lack admirers. Cheng Xiao is speechless. Seeing that she can still joke at a time like this, he gently asks why she suddenly chose to call off the engagement and even quit such an enviable job. Shi Liu sighs. She feels like her life has been overheating. She pushed herself non-stop. Top university, studying in the US, finding a job, preparing for marriage. Her life has been running at full speed this entire time. Now she's utterly exhausted. She just wants to shut everything down and restart, to find herself again. Cheng Xiao admires her courage and is about to offer encouragement when Shi Liu's brother calls. He says their mother wants Shi Liu to come home. She promises not to hit her again. Cheng Xiao relays the message, assuring Shi Liu that her mother wants to resolve things peacefully. He even vows to accompany her back for moral support. But once she turns away, he breaks into a smug smile. Back home, Shi Liu sees her mother slumped on the sofa, crying. She rushes forward to comfort her, only to be frightened half to death the next second. Cheng Xiao stands at the doorway with a mischievous grin, secretly listening to Shi Liu's miserable wailing. His thoughts drift back to childhood. Back then, other kids mocked him for being born overseas, for not speaking Korean well, calling him stupid. Shi Liu charged forward, shouting, "Who dares bully my precious one?" In another corner, a reporter tries to approach and help. Yuan Yin decisively kicks a drunk uncle to the ground, instantly forcing him to behave. She escorts him to the hospital and kindly gives him candy and advises him not to drink again. The man carefully tucks the candy and note into his pocket. This scene is witnessed by a reporter named Xiao Hao, who suddenly develops a strong admiration for the handsome Yuan Yin. Neither of the two ladies realize it yet. A new romance is about to begin. End of episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.